I think all of us have had it happen at some point where we're doing an exercise, we're doing a movement, or we're doing a stretch, and we feel something in whatever body part we're working on, and we don't really know, is what I'm feeling okay, or is what I'm feeling not okay? Is this good or is this bad? Should I push through this or should I not push through this? This video is going to help you guys figure out the answers to those questions so that anytime you find yourself in that scenario, you can troubleshoot for yourself, okay, is what I'm feeling a good thing that I should go through or a bad thing that I maybe should not go through? So the strategy or rule that I like to teach clients to help them problem solve, is this sensation okay or not okay, is what many people know as the closing angle pain rule. Now, I didn't make that up. That was actually developed by functional range systems. I'm going to tweak it a little bit later in the video or show you how I explain it to clients or how I change it for my specific clients, but we'll get to that a little bit later. The actual closing angle pain rule that was developed by functional range systems, what that means is that when you're moving a joint or a body part, you do not want to feel limited or you do not want to feel pain in the area that is being closed off. So the easy example is for the shoulder. If I'm bringing my shoulder up to the side, you can probably appreciate how the angle between my head and my arm is decreasing or reducing or closing, while the angle underneath my arm between my torso and my underarm actually increases as I come up. So if as I bring my arm up, I feel pain in the closing angle side, we would then refer to that as closing angle pain, and we would say, okay, that's something we don't want to push through. In contrast, if the sensation that we feel is on the open angle side or the angle that is increasing, we would say, okay, yeah, you know what, that's probably fine. Same thing goes for shoulder flexion. If I'm flexing my shoulder, this is a common one for people, and I'm coming up into an overhead position, if I feel pain on the top side, we would say let's not push through that. If you feel limited by the bottom side stuff, that's generally safer to move through. Now, like I said earlier, I do change this for a lot of my clients, and there's a reason for that. So I don't call it closing angle joint pain when I refer to it with my own specific clients. And rather, I tweak that a little bit and I just say, you know what, closing angle sensations, closing angle symptoms, closing angle almost anything we want to try and avoid. The reason for that is that most closing angle pains, so when you feel that pain or pinch on top if you're lifting your arm up, often does not start as a closing angle pain. It'll usually start as like a restriction, or it'll feel like you're being blocked by something up top, but it won't necessarily hurt or be painful. So sometimes people will think, oh, well, I am being restricted on top. I do feel something blocking me up there. It might even be pinching a little bit, but it doesn't hurt. And then they think, okay, well, I'm just going to keep pushing through this. And when you keep pushing through those sensations, it often ends up turning into pain or turning into an injury. It just hasn't progressed to that point yet. So I like to try to catch people earlier on and help people dissociate between, okay, well, this sensation isn't painful, but it's something that could contribute to pain. So the way that you can help to figure that out, and it does get confusing because if you're lifting your arm up, you might be thinking right now, especially if you know anatomy, at which point, good for you, that, well, the muscles on top are working to lift my arm up. So what if I just feel those muscles working? How do I know, is this just a muscle working, or is this a closing angle sensation or closing angle something that I shouldn't be pushing through? The way that you can help to dissociate, or at least the way that I teach clients that I work with, that I've had a lot of success with, is dissociating between, okay, is what I'm feeling like a pinpoint sensation, meaning can you put your finger, the tip of your finger, right where you feel that, or is it more of a diffuse area? Generally, if what you're feeling is the muscles working on the closing angle side just to lift your arm up, then if it's a diffuse area, it's probably safer to say, okay, it's probably just the muscle working and taking my arm up into that position, and therefore it's probably fine. But if as you're lifting your arm up, you're like, I feel it right here, and you can put your finger on it, and it's a pinpoint sensation, that's usually something that's gonna be more like your joint restriction or tissues getting bunched up or pinched somewhere, and that's something we don't wanna push through. So the closing angle pain rule, as much as we like to think it's black and white, it's really not black and white, which is why I do modify it for clients a little bit. And like we said, it does get tricky or confusing sometimes when the tissue that's working to bring you into that position is also in the closing angle side. So in summary, when you're doing your movements, your stretches, your cars, anything physical with your body, and you feel something and you don't know, is this okay or is this not okay? Is this something I should push through, or is this something that's going to cause me problems if I push through it? You can first ask yourself, is this on the closing angle side? If it's on the closing angle side, okay, is it painful? If it's painful right away, okay, let's avoid it. That's something you should probably go get assessed to figure out what's going on. If you're a client of mine, please come see me and please tell me so that I can assess you. So if it's not painful and it's just like, okay, well, I feel a sensation on top, then your next question that you're gonna ask yourself is, okay, does this feel like it's a pinpoint area, a very specific small area, or does this feel like a diffuse area? And if it's a very small or pinpoint area, then again, that's something we're probably gonna play it safe with and try to avoid, versus if it's a diffuse area and it feels more like a muscle contraction, then you're probably good to continue on. If you still don't know at that point, it's always safest to just go get assessed and find out and figure out, okay, is there something going on with this joint? Or is it totally fine and is what I'm feeling just a normal sensation that I haven't felt before? If you're a client of mine, like I said, if you don't know, please just ask me or come in to see me and I'll assess you and I'll be able to help you out with that. I hope that makes sense. That's the closing angle joint pain rule. If you guys have any questions, please put them in the comments below. Otherwise, thanks for being here and I'll see you in the next video.